Nowadays, you can't hear the word sci without immediately thinking of the word science fiction. A science fiction film is any film in which the plot is based on one piece of absolute nonsense. However, unlike fantasy, where the lie is about something from the past, like wizards or giants, in sci-fi, the fibs are about things from the future, like aliens or computers. Now you're up to speed then, let's crack off. In at number 5, a film that always conjures up memories of me as a child watching E.T. That's right, it's E.T. E.T. is the story of a naked electrician from space who escapes from his disgusting family to scrounge off a single-parent household in America. Following the divorce of Elliot's parents, E.T. targets the emotionally vulnerable young boy, knowing he can manipulate him into giving him asylum. A pioneer of product placement, the film recouped a lot of its $10 million budget by subtly trying to push things like Reese's Pieces, Coca-Cola and E.T. dolls. Despite our hero always pretentiously referring to himself in the third person, it's a very charming film. Most of it was actually shot with the camera at Elliot's eye level, making the viewer experience it from a child's perspective. And also because the cameraman was 10. 4. Now, we've all seen Sister Act, but what if instead of teaching music, you're teaching English, and instead of inner city school kids, you're teaching two cheeky aliens? That's right, it's Arrival. Set in a fictional world where for some reason people don't scream their heads off when they see an alien for the first time, this 2016 Amy Adams film explores a world in which aliens might actually be made out of octopus. The director went through a variety of options before settling on this look, after briefly considering squid-like beings, cuttlefish, and even a donkey. It's your classic classroom comedy. Teacher starts the term by writing her name on the board, only for the class clown to throw ink up the wall. Based on the story by Ted Chiang, the filmmakers didn't dumb it down at all, and I know that because I found it very confusing. 3. It's Gravity. One of the scariest films not to have any baddies in it, Gravity asks the age-old question, what happens if you fall out of a plane upwards and you don't have a phone on you? Set 400 miles in the air, which for context is from here to Canterbury Civic Centre, Gravity follows the story of a rich and successful astronaut in desperate need of the one thing money can't buy, gravity.
You gotta be kidding me!
But what is gravity? Well, for most of us, it's nothing more than the thing that keeps your wig on your head. But in this film, it's nowhere to be seen, making it a pretty odd choice for a title. The director had such high hopes for how real and immersive he wanted this film to look that new technology had to be developed to handle all the vomit in the cinemas.
Better I coughed up everything but my kidneys.
It's an amazing film, and one which is truly out of the ordinary. And it's included on Prime Video. And I'm not just saying that because I work for Amazon, I tell that to everyone I meet. 2. Up next, one of my favourite flicks. After directing Happy Feet and Happy Feet 2, director George Miller absolutely shocked some of his 5-year-old fans with some of the most disgusting characters in movie history. Yes, it's Mad Max Fury Road. Set in a futuristic Australia after a big war where all the petrol stations got shut, this Oscar nominee for Best Picture tells the story of a long-haul lorry driver and some pregnant angels who were trying to run away from a spooky fat skeleton. They also bring a man called Max with them, which is nice. A film which was described by many as Thomas the Tank Engine meets absolutely disgusting. Mad Max is an action-packed story of survival, humanity, and yellow. The entire film is literally one big car chase, which is very easy to understand, but we find ourselves asking, what are our characters really running away from? The answer, of course, is baddies. It has by far the most jostling and things going pop of any film I've seen, and most of the characters don't really say anything to each other for most of it, which I guess is pretty normal for people on long car journeys.
What a lovely day!
And it's also included on Prime Video, as are loads of sci-fi films. This is turning out to be a lovely coincidence. It's time for number 1. Now, going to bed is something we all love to do to relax every so often, but what if going to bed was how you got to work in the mornings? That's right, taking our top spot today is of course Inception.
You talking about dreams?
After directing The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan had Hollywood eating putty out from under his thumb and let him do whatever he wanted. So he broke the convention where films have to make any sense and tells the story of some male models who have to go to sleep twice at the same time in order to do some stealing. And the most Inception thing about Inception, the actors even talk about the film during the film.
It's called Inception. Inception. Inception.
Inception. Inception.
It's a very fun Christmas film for all the family, and despite being about bedtime, it's honestly one of the coolest films in the world. Even the tagline is cool. Your mind is the scene of the crime. It's got a real whoever smelt it dealt it feel to it. It's clever, and it's fun to say at parties. So there we have it, my top 5 sci-fi flicks. Sci-fi has been around for decades, and seeing as it's set in the future, will be around for decades to come, creating a sort of double sci-fi. It's fun, it's clever, and it's so influential that you can now even study science and fiction at GCSE. Happy revising!